Welcome back to the Real Contrast.
I'm Kyle A.
I'm Brian K. How you doing today, brother?
Good, bro.
Good,
How are you?
good. I'm doing good. This is actually our second retake, so it feels weird. From Homes to Hearth, we bring you the keys to success.
Hell yeah.
All right. So we got a couple topics today. The one I'm getting jazzed about, not jazzed. I mean, it's. I think it's a good topic, and I'd love it if I heard from some more people about it because we're in the age of WhatsApp. So we're gonna say what's up with WhatsApp. We're gonna talk about where does the job end, and I think a topic that kind of wraps into that is there a real estate emergency?
Call 911.
Ooh. All right. So
what's up with WhatsApp?
what's up with WhatsApp? Have you used WhatsApp in the past?
I've never actually used it. I've been WhatsApped before.
Okay. Did you get a shot for that? See
You know,
a doctor?
I wanted to get a shot for it because it
Okay.
was really awkward.
I think you're doing it wrong.
It was, yeah. It's awkward, so I got a shot for it.
Yep. Okay. So, what's your opinion about WhatsApp right now?
Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm sure my opinion isn't correct, but
Your opinion is yours, so it's going to be correct.
Yeah, well, I think scams can come in many different ways.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I always wonder how somebody actually gets away with scamming in real estate, especially if they're, like, wanting to be a buyer. I mean, really, where's the scam at?
Yeah.
Because they have to show credentials, right? Like, hey, and I know, you know, you can fake your account balance. You know, I mean, anybody can take a picture of numbers.
Sure.
You know, you can't really fake a lender approval through a seasoned agent. They're going to call them, right? Maybe you can if I look at it.
How long is this show?
But I don't. But I didn't understand it, right? So, anyways, buyers like, hey, I want to purchase this, and I instantly say, hey, that's fine. We can talk over my phone number, and also, yeah, I would like to, you know, sit down with you and, you know, see if I could be of value. Ultimately, getting to the point of, hey, are you pre-approved? You know, are you pre-approved, or are you a cash buyer? And then it just went cold.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I have been very skeptical of WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And part of it, just me looking inside, is because it's something I don't know. You hit it on the head. You can be scammed anyway.
Right.
I think that there's probably been an attempt at scamming someone through smoke signals.
For sure. Yeah, totally.
So there's a
Yeah.
vehicle for everything. So let's start with WhatsApp, and I have used WhatsApp. My use of WhatsApp has been mostly out of country,
Yeah.
and so
Light bulb.
well, sure, and that was another thing too for me that I was thinking, oh gosh, well, you know, I'm here in North Idaho. I'm not in Mexico, Italy. I don't just call me on my phone.
Right.
Or why WhatsApp? And so I've had quite a few people reach out to me. I learned something years and years ago. I don't do business with someone I can't talk to on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, WhatsApp allows you to talk to people on the phone. Okay?
Yep.
So, and all of this started from another person that reached out today and said, hey, you know, reach out to me. And so WhatsApp is a handy tool. And the way that it works, okay, if I call you right now, it's going through Verizon to do my end of it, and then
Right.
it hits your call carrier, and it goes through whoever you have, AT&T, to get to your phone, and both of them are charging us, right? But if I send you an email, we don't get charged.
Right.
We're not using our cell phone for that, right?
Right.
So WhatsApp is using the internet to communicate instead of cell towers, okay? And sometimes it does use cell towers and through the trickery of phones, and I don't know exactly how it works, but WhatsApp is a very financially better option for people.
Yeah, okay, I can understand that.
So I can take I'm embarrassed to say, $180 phone bill a month and be gone with it by just reaching out through WhatsApp. Problem is, not everybody reaches out through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that anytime soon.
I've talked with clients who are in Mexico and stuff, and we talk on the phone.
Yep. And so it goes back, and the reason I wanted to have this conversation today is not to convince you or not to convince
Right.
me to use WhatsApp. I think it's a good conversation to have with people out there because it's new. I didn't realize that WhatsApp has been around since 2009.
So it's not that new.
So it's not that new at all. One of the things that multiple sources were saying that the benefits of WhatsApp is they have more thingies that you can do. So you can send higher quality videos. They have you can do group chats, which I do all the time on my phone, but then you can do polling and a bunch of stuff that I'm not doing. So here's my suggestion to people, especially if you're right in. I feel like we're not too old because we can use a cell phone but we're not young enough to be as hip as some of these folks.
Efficient.
And so to everybody else that feels like that's out there, you're comfortable using a computer, but you're not quite sure about all the new apps, and
Right.
you're scared of Twitter or whatever. Like, think about the opportunities that are out there. And as we continue to grow, as technology continues to evolve, we're going to see more of this stuff. So I'm not saying you have to use WhatsApp,
Right.
but I am giving a shout out to a lot of folks that are like me, and maybe you, that were just like, this is a scam app.
Yeah.
Because I have used it. I have used it in business. I have used it in personal life. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with it. I still have hesitation, reservations, but if I can have a conversation with someone, just like a phone call,
Yeah.
and I can shoot text back and forth, just like a text message,
Yeah.
not much is changing for me.
You know-
You're going to come into town. We're going to meet.
Right.
We're going to shake hands. We're going to go walk a property.
I lie. I actually do use WhatsApp. Now that I think about it, it's the green. It's the one that's green and it says.
Yes.
WhatsApp.
Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, I had to think about it for a while.
Can someone deliver some coffee,
So
please?
I don't use it for business. Now I have a group of people that I went to Peru with, and they're all spread all over the world. Right?
This is perfect for this. Yes. Tell me more.
Yeah. So for us to stay in contact, we have a group text thread, and we.
It's got to be a scam.
Well, instantly for me, red flags go up when somebody's reaching out through WhatsApp for a property, right? If you have a wife that's in real estate with her picture up there, you get a little weirded when you get. Look, we've had to deal with a lot of shit. A lot of weird shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I don't even want to talk about it on here. But it's so for me, I'm just like instantly red flags. And now that's not necessarily a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just where I'm at,
Yeah. Well, and to each their own.
And I know all these people that I'm doing a WhatsApp with anyway.
And that's my point, is that it's being utilized for you in a way that you feel safe with.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I probably would have just been like, nope, I don't need that business. Now, like I said, I've had conversations with hotel concierge, obviously, but like personal guides, people that have come friends with me, my own friends, businesses out there, and it makes sense. And they're just going, well, shoot, especially like in Europe, where I mean the countries are so close, but you're going to get an international call 200 miles away because you went across country lines.
No, fair enough.
And so some people, and the person that reached out to me today was from New York, business gal. She had a really thick accent, and I'm thinking, well, there's so many people that are smart with their money.
Yeah.
Out there, and we're attached to the old school ways, right?
Right.
And, I mean, if it can save you a couple bucks, it actually makes sense. And as we talk, I'm just like, well, maybe I'm never going to call on a regular phone again. I'm only going to call you with WhatsApp.
It doesn't cost me extra money to call to New York.
Well, it may not for you. Depends on your calling cards. Because
there's my skeptical mind going.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: if she's in business and she's in day trading or she's in business trading, she might be calling Europe, Mexico, London,
No, for sure.
you know, and so it just
It just comes
fits
natural.
her. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, this is the phone that I use during the day. I'm not calling my family on. Well, maybe she is. Maybe she's got some family in Asia
Absolutely.
somewhere or something, you know. So
that's what's up with WhatsApp.
that's what's up with WhatsApp. Love your comments. If you use WhatsApp, I'd like to hear a couple things that you've seen, or maybe some reservations that you had getting into
Yeah.
it, and why it's better. Or if you're just like completely opposed to it, jump on Kyle's side and tell us about it.
Hey, look, I'm not necessarily completely opposed to it.
No, we figured that out about halfway through the conversation when you figured out what the thing was that I was talking about.
Yeah. I just uncomfortable with it in certain situations, but I'm also uncomfortable with just certain situations.
So when does the job end?
Ooh, at 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Just joking.
Okay,
How's
so
that?
and this came up because a property owner got my name. I'm very visible. You can find my phone number
Yeah.
all over the
Yep.
yours as well, right? Got my name, called me up, said I'm looking for your buyer because of blah blah blah. Now, do I have an obligation to my client to reach out to him and pass that message along?
I would say no and yes. For me, I'm going to say
Do I have a legal obligation by the state of Idaho?
no.
Why not?
Well, because as soon as the contract is either terminated or fully executed, then your obligations are done. For 100 points.
Unless it's something that, you know, is still existing in the contract, your job contractually is done.
Right.
Now,
Morally and professionally, I'd say we would. I think I already know the answer. You're going to reach out to your client.
brother man, I tracked his mom down to find out.
Hell yeah. Well, it's a good reason to even reach out anyway.
Now, I love my broker. She was also who I went through real estate school with. And she is very black and white when it
Yeah.
comes to the letter of the law. That's what they're supposed to do, okay?
Yep.
And she has such a big heart in her. But when she starts talking about this, she's like, this is not your obligation. This is, you know, and she's protecting me just like I want to protect and hold my
Yeah,
clients and hug
absolutely.
them and love them and squeeze them and, you know, give them, you know, all the candy that they can handle in the world. But when does the job end?
You know, truthfully, well, like that's such a tough question. It is.
That's why I posed it like that.
You know,
when does the job end?
It doesn't. It really doesn't end. Now, contractually, yes. Okay, that's a good point to understand where you're legally bound to and where you're not. Right, when you decide enough's enough, like they're crossing the line, they're asking for too much. Enough is enough. Right.
Yeah.
That's when the job ends. But you know, obviously, for confidentiality, it never ends. Period. But two, for relationships, like it never ends, and you're a source to a source. So even before you have a contract with somebody and they call you up and ask you questions, you want to take that call. You want to be there you want to be the guy to do that.
Yeah.
Period. So my answer for $1,000, Bob or Brian, is never ends. I'm going with never ends.
Never ends.
You know,
I mean, is it your obligation to go mow your listing's lawn?
different. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely not. It's not.
Poke,
But-
poke, poke. Now,
He just nowed me. He just
where
nowed me.
where it ties in with this show is I want people to understand that if you're a real estate agent or a small business owner, that's the beauty of it. It's your business.
Do it how you want.
You get to decide.
Amen.
And there are agents out there that are very transactional.
Yeah.
I'm here to do the business. The job is over. I don't care about my client.
And there's clients who like that.
Google. And there are some clients that I definitely feel like
Yeah.
that. And then you get to decide, am I the type of person that calls them on, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Do I go the extra mile and bring a closing gift?
Yeah.
Do I? Oh, we got.
Dude.
There it is.
Dude, this is the real estate
salesman handbook.
Yeah, 1940.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so good.
bring it home.
It talks about exactly what we're talking about in here. And I love it. Now, this is before, obviously, computers, emails, text messages, cell phones, right? And it talks about the agent who's willing to remember their clients is the agent that will succeed, right?
There it is.
Like, how much business are you passing up by not? And we have it easy today. We can just reach out and say, "Hey, Happy Valentine's Day," or "I'm not going to call on Valentine's Day, but I'm going to do Christmases. I'm going to do your birthday. I'm going to call if you just pop through my head. I'm going to call you because I want to know how you're doing."
Yeah.
You know, or in this scenario, the gentleman's going, "Well, you know, go drop some flowers off at their doorstep."
That's it, man.
You know,
The power behind that, and you do you.
yeah,
Because that's how your business grows more into your business, not Kyle's business, not Brian's business.
1942.
Boom. And it's funny, you know, you read this or The Magic of Thinking Big,
Right.
or some of these old,
Right, the richest man in Babylon, or the
Yeah,
best salesman in the world.
the message doesn't change.
No,
The vehicle might, like you said,
Right.
fax machine turns into
Right.
computer, blah, 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 but
right.
the basis is there.
A horse
Treat
buggy,
people.
right? A horse
Yeah.
and buggy turns
I mean,
into a car.
We could just all boil it down to the golden rule: do unto others,
You want done unto yourself.
and
Love it.
you've written the book. Do that.
Yeah,
Do that right there.
being genuine.
Yeah, 100%. So over the weekend, you said something about, and I've had this happen a few times. It's so weird when you have a good conversation with someone, it's hard to get out of your head.
Yeah,
It really is. And so I had called this guy, I don't know, probably a year, 2 years ago, for sale by owner. Got to jaw jacking with him. Attempted to swing by and say hi a couple times. Never was able to shake his hand. And I liked him. He just seemed like good old boy club, right? And so Saturday I get a call. And he says, "Hey, this is Dave." And I'm like, "Dave," and he uses his last name. I'm like, "Oh, where do you live?" And he described his reason for calling.
yeah.
I didn't know this. This is a crazy thing. I did a deal in March, and he was the seller on that other end.
Oh, was he?
But it probably had some LLC or something, you know.
Right.
And so he goes to me. He's like, "I'm calling today because of blah 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 blah." And I go, "Okay, yeah, you know," and blah 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 blah. "Hey, Dave, where do you live?" He goes, "Post Falls." And I said, "Do you have that property for sale over there on the highway?" "Yep, yep." I go, "Yeah, you know, I know you got that listed with Kelly right now, but I had talked to you a few times about that. We were going to meet up for." Say, "Oh gosh, yeah, Brian, how's it going?" But and of
Yeah.
course he used a different agent down where you're selling this property, and so I haven't called him in a while because he's had this property listed with
right.
another
That
agent.
totally
right?
makes sense.
He called me that day,
Free and clear.
and I'm not asking for his business. By no means. I mean, there's so many violations in that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have good conversations with the guy, and it stuck here. And I mean, that just goes back to, you know, you were asking what I did today. I just sat in the office.
Yeah.
And I was making phone calls.
Amen.
And that's how I have these conversations.
Yeah.
And a lot of those conversations are dead ends.
Yep.
They're voicemails that don't return. They're bad phone numbers.
One-way conversations.
They're one-way conversations.
Yep.
And eventually you have a couple, and then they go and they list with someone else, and
Yep.
you know, it is what it is. And finally they call you back and they go, "You know what? I always liked you, and I've seen all your marketing on Facebook, and I want to list with you.
Yeah.
I want to do business with you."
Yep. Finding your tribe.
Yeah.
You know, that's good. That's really good.
We had one more.
What time is it? I think we're have to save that one for the next episode.
Is there a real estate emergency?
Oh, he did it.
I did it. All right.
Well, that's a pretty easy one. No.
Okay. So no real estate
Sometimes they're-
emergencies.
Yeah, there's really no. It's not life threatening.
But Kyle,
No,
there's no real estate emergencies.
there isn't.
My coach told me this a long
There
time ago.
isn't.
If you have a real estate emergency, call 911.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing. Your house is on fire. I'm not the guy to help.
Right.
You'll need to let me know because I'll get the sign guy out there and pull the
So-
sign out of the yard. And
so-
we don't have a saleable house anymore. But
Well, if a house burnt down, would you still deserve your commission?
well, that depends on what your
Would you even
contract
ask for it?
says.
Well, you better start putting that in the contract. If the house burns down, still gonna need to get paid.
Yeah.
Just joking.
Yeah, in Kansas they have the hurricane or the tornado clause. If your house gets hit by a tornado, you still owe commissions.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because there's just
I'm totally BSing you now.
total.
I have
There's
no idea if that's
or
the case.
if a tsunami comes and tears your building down and it's for sale,
In Florida, yeah, if your house
your
floats
insurance should
away,
cover it.
If your house floats away,
Yeah.
the property value is $2 million, and you should receive a check for $60,000 for your commissions.
That's right.
I mean, after all, I was putting it on Facebook,
it
right?
cost me money.
I put it on Craigslist.
Yeah. Yeah. So no emergencies.
No emergencies. Now, a lot of people, and here's
There's rushes.
I will say that, especially for newer agents, I'm still at this point though, okay, because I'm human. Especially for newer agency, it feels like there's a lot of emergencies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It will feel like the world is going to implode when you get your first counteroffer. It will feel like the world has exploded the first time you get an RE10 inspection request back from the buyers, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
Well, you got to realize it's not your fight. You got to put that in there. It's in your heart. Sorry, I was at a fire pit all weekend. It's not your fight, and your job is to disseminate information, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately be a guide for your client through it. Now, they're going to take it anywhere they're going to take it, but you need to take it professionally. End of story.
Now, the call that I got on Saturday taking this back was that the property that we had sold, my buyer had some personal property, a side-by-side, a tent with some survival stuff, like 30 feet over the property line.
Gotcha.
Not a big deal, but it was still over the property line, right? And the property owner couldn't turn his trailer around.
Gotcha.
So he wasn't mad. He was a super cool guy. But here's the thing. He calls me. He's telling me, he goes, I was up there about a month ago. I left him a bunch of notes on the cars and everything, on the stuff, and he hasn't called me. And I'm like, man, this is in the middle of this. I mean, we're hot. The guy wanted to be up there building this year, and I knew he was physically or medically maybe had some issues.
Right.
And so where it became an emergency in my mind was, oh my God, did this guy croak out on the side of the hill?
Right. Yeah.
Again, it's that the county sheriff has to do a wellness check. That's not something that, I'm out there. But what can I do? I reached out to the agent that referred him over to me. I called some campgrounds because I remember him saying he camped in a campground down there.
He didn't have a phone number?
He has a phone number, but it just went straight to voicemail. And so, I mean,
Gotcha.
I'm calling and texting. Obviously, that's what called and texted him immediately. But he wasn't responding to any of that. And so, 3 days later here, I'm going, holy crap, I'm worried that my guy's
got a missing person.
Yeah. So that's what sometimes you deal with in real estate. You never know. That's the beauty of it.
Well, I mean, I guess if you put it that way, maybe there could be a real estate emergency.
Even then, I mean, it's out of my hands. I mean, I can do some stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it'd be a call to the sheriff to do a wellness check.
I think those days are fun when you're on a mission, you know?
I tracked down his mom.
Amen, dude.
I'm like, hey, do you know Rob? And she's like, who's asking? And I'm like, well, here's a story.
Yeah. Right.
I believe that you and your daughter are on title to the house he was living on in this town in Washington. She's like, I have more information for you.
Yeah. Exactly. No, that's good. That's good Samaritan.
Yeah. Well, hey, this was a great podcast. Love
Yeah,
it,
it is.
man.
Love you,
Appreciate
bro.
you, brother. Till again, peace.